Hey, welcome back. All right, Cancerians, delighted to have you. All right, so first off, the winner of today's card pull is going to be Sharon K. I will pull a card at the end for Sharon. If you would like to enter to win, all you got to do is be a subscriber, give this video a thumbs up, and write hashtag tarot dog, and then check back for the video that I'll put out. Let's see, today's the 28th, so it'll be on the 30th because I've been doing a Cancerian video every other day. I thought I would do that all the way up till February 1st, do like 2 weeks of, quite a few of these Cancerian videos to see if finally you guys will get the notifications and to kind of push forward the videos that you guys have kind of been denied or have slipped through the cracks when I had the Cancerian videos on my other channel, Kate's Regretless Life. By the way, if you're looking for the other zodiacs, they are over on that other channel, Kate's Regretless Life. This is just going to be dedicated to the Cancerian videos, collective reads, and pick a cards. Now, how do we begin? We begin with the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles is somebody sitting there having enough money. It's almost like it's flying around them. I feel more like this is a character that is able to draw wealth toward them right now. They're like a magnet for money. They're a magnet for abundance at the moment. They may have a passive stream of income, but it comes from their own, like, sitting and thinking about it. This is a character who believes in themselves. This is a Cancerian who is able to imagine the realm of wealth and affluency around them, and then it's like they make it so just through their thoughts. We have a King of Cups. We have an 8 of Wands. Okay, so it's not the only kind of wealth that they're calling in. This is a Cancerian who's learned how to work with the powers of manifesting. They have decided to call in all kinds of abundance for themselves, including if they would like to connect with someone loving, someone warm, they are calling that in as well. Now, this King of Cups is someone who could be a perfect match for Cancerian, considering that they too are a King of Cups. This is someone who has known some version of difficulty in their life. They may be someone who Cancerian could almost overlook. I feel like this is going to be an unexpected individual. If Cancerian is meditating, this could be somebody who's using a method to manifest right now. This Cancerian could be, recently listened to or watched or been given advice on the best way to like visualize success. And they may be in the midst of practicing that and then starting to see some kind of results. But one of the results that they see is in an unlikely form. They may not have been trying to call in any kind of relationship for themselves, and yet here we see one showing up. They could overlook this individual. This individual could be, you notice they're not really smiling. They're very calmly just sitting there. And so I'm going to say that our Cancerian could almost ignore this character or not realize that they have a ton to offer, that they're a beautiful match until they get talking to this character. It's really important. The wealth of this character, you notice how we have, wheat here. If you just see wheat, you don't think much of it. You don't realize that's a grain that we eat, and then we turn it into bread, and we turn it into pastries, and we turn it into the most wonderful, delicious things ever. But otherwise, we just go, oh, it's some grass. It's not just grass. It's something with incredible value. It's something that, keeps societies alive. It keeps us fed. So that's why I'm saying this character could be easily overlooked, because at first, Cancerian might say, oh, they're just that next door neighbor. They're just that person that I buy my tea from, or I buy my coffee from. They're just that person, but they're not just anything. Cancerian's going to find that the more they talk to a particular person, a person who possibly has already been in their life or will suddenly show up in their life, that person they're going to feel very differently about this person, because we have the Death card, and then we've got this Ace of Pentacles that's sideways. I think Cancerian starts to learn the depth of this person, and they start to realize, I had no idea I would start to see them in such a different light. I learned more about them. I learned the value of them. They're not just, grass, and they're not even just wheat. They are a full blown, incredible. I mean, again, think of what we make out of wheat. Think of the amount of pastries and breads and, meals that all require wheat, whether it's for the thickening agent or whether it's, like we use it a lot. I feel like the value of this character, once Cancerian starts having regular conversation with this King of Cups, this seemingly overlooked character is going to shake Cancerian's world. They're going to rock Cancerian's world. It's going to change Cancerian's world because they met this person. And I think it still is like almost a state of disbelief with that Ace of Pentacles sideways. Like, how could this seemingly like unobtrusive person become so dear to me? How could they become so important to me? How could this change what I was thinking my life was going to look like? This feels like maybe our Cancerian was saying, I'm only focused on money. I'm only focused on my abundance. I'm only focused on wealth. But because Nine of Pentacles is about abundance, it's interesting how abundance comes in many forms. And although Cancerian might have had meeting a well-matched partner as the last thing they ever, maybe they flat out didn't even want that at all. That's not what they've been manifesting. That could be why it's such a stunner. It's like, I didn't ask for this. Ace of Pentacles sideways. I didn't ask to meet somebody. What do you mean this is about a person coming into my life? I'm only working on my wealth. I'm only focusing on my manifesting. I wasn't trying to call in a person at all. But it changes everything. Meeting someone, talking to them, realizing that there's something here. There's something that transforms the way the way Cancer is looking at something. This Scorpio energy with the Death card. I don't know why I want to say Pisces at all. We haven't got any Pisces here. But I mean, unless we say, well, the King of Cups could certainly be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But we have a Three of Pentacles upright. We have a Four of Swords. This is the thing Cancer didn't even know that they needed. This Cancer was single and they were abundant, and that's where their emphasis was. That's where their focus was on. They didn't even realize that by asking the universe to bring them the kind of abundance that would make them really satisfied, that they were actually going to want to meet an amazing person to collaborate with, to have companionship with, and to actually help them heal some piece of their heart that they didn't even know needed healing still. I feel like this is a Cancerian who was so content being solo, liked being solo, has even said, I want to be single. I don't want someone. I just want to do what I want to do. I've been married before, been divorced, done the whole relationship thing. Trust me, I'm way happier with myself and my business, and I'm a way better manifester alone. I've created a lot of, maybe they've bought their own house, they live in a place, they've created a world that really works for them. And they are, it's so funny how this Cancerian to me keeps coming across as somebody who feels like they know where it's at. They know who they are. They know what they're doing. And they do, with one exception, manifesting the best for oneself. The universe hears that and they go, excellent, the best for yourself. Then I'm going to give you something that maybe you didn't think to put on your list of things because you didn't even know deep down you needed this. You needed companionship. You needed a friend you could rely on. Maybe this is a business partnership first and foremost, but it's someone of integrity, and it's someone who matches the energy of this Cancerian so beautifully. There's so much more value and depth to this person. There's a kindness, there's a patience, there's an emotional vulnerability, availability, and maturity to them. And it's like, I don't even think Cancerian knew that they could find someone like that, so they never thought to ask for it. They never thought to call that in, which is probably the best way to do it, right? Instead, Cancerian was like, look, I'm just manifesting the best for me. I'm not putting a label on it. I'm not saying who it needs to be. I'm not putting a face to it. Oh, please bring an ex back. Nope. This Cancerian didn't do any of that. None of that. They were only thinking about, I want to keep manifesting the best life for me. And they have been doing just that. But it came with the fact that the universe heard that and said, Yeah, you're gonna have a bunch of that. Three of Cups in the reverse, definitely. This has been a Cancerian who was like, no, I don't need a bunch of people around me. This is a Cancerian in crab mode, right? Go into their little crab shell. I don't need anyone, and nobody needs me, and I like it that way. They said all that, but that's not maybe what their heart space said. The Judgment card. There was something that needed to be reconciled. Maybe there was a big family wound. Maybe it was got the Knight of Swords. We got the Fool. We got the Ten of Wands. I'm gonna say that this Cancerian's life changes on a dime. They go from I'm single, my life makes sense, I do what I do every day, and I keep winning, and I keep manifesting better, and I manifest calm, and I create what I need to in abundance, and I ask the universe to continue to assist me in creating that. And the universe is, but with a twist to it that they never expected, because they were sure that they didn't need anyone. No, they don't need anyone, but there is something about I do say that deep down, having having a really wonderful sense of companionship, someone to converse with that's on the same level, I think that adds a lot of value to a character's life. And I think that's what this message is. This is kind of like the universe is saying, you forgot to ask for one particular thing when you've been busy, pulling good things towards you. You forgot that you did want to reconcile, um, especially if there were old family wounds or a sense of being out in the cold. You've actually been ready to call in. I don't know. This is like uh, I don't want to say a weary world traveler, but the kind of relationship you've never had the happiness to know that that is something that you wanted. You wanted it for a long time, but you didn't think it was out there, so you gave up on asking for it. But I heard you. You placed your order for that a long time ago. But then you acknowledged, oh, it's not going to happen, so I'm not thinking about it. But it is going to happen. It's just happening when I say it's going to happen. The universe is like, it comes in really fast the day that it's ready. The day it's time for you to cross paths with this person, the day that you're probably not thinking about it is the day that you cross paths with somebody super important. The day that you said, I don't need it. It's not the thing I'm looking for. It's like the universe is having this little dialogue with this Cancerian saying, I know you said you didn't need it. It's exactly when you're so certain that you've got it all worked out, you know what your life's going to look like, and you're in charge of it, and you've been, you only ask for the things that'll help continue to create abundance in your life and wealth, and you know you're good alone and you don't need anyone. But in fact, that's the time when your life changes. That's the time when perhaps you're most ready, when you're not hungry for something, except somewhere deep down there's it's like this Cancerian made peace with their lot in life, and they thought it was still a pretty good one. And yet there's so much more still for this Cancerian to look forward to. There's so much more happiness, but they're not actually out there, questing for it. They're just grateful for what they've got. Very, very nice. All right, I'm going to leave that one there and say, let's go ahead and pull a card now for Sharon. Sharon, my dear, let's see what we've got. Actually, I want this deck. I want a bigger, more interesting, artistic deck. Okay, so we just got the Four of Wands, and it did end in the reverse position. And the Four of Wands is normally, it can be a card of like the perfectly balanced life. It can be marriage. It can be the perfectly balanced like business, work life. Everything is just like clicking into place, and it's just how we want everything to be. In the reverse, there's the acknowledgement that, hey, wait a minute. Why would I accept this if it's not actually the balanced thing that I want? Hey, wait a minute. I want to be more discerning, because sometimes I'll just say what I think. on this. Okay. And please remember, I'm a fictional storyteller. I'm not predicting your life. I'm not a psychic. So, Sharon, take this with a grain of salt. It's for fun and entertainment only. But here's my first impression. If a character said, I have this big dream for my life, and I can imagine what kind of wedding I want to have. I can imagine what kind of location I want to live in. I can imagine the kind of this is somebody who has probably like a really good visual, like they're able to see things in their mind's eye. This could be a visionary. This could be somebody who's like, I can pretty much paint the image of the life that I believe is supposed to be mine, what my perfect life would look like. They may have a photo or a photograph or a painting, something that they've seen, and they've always said that's where I'm meant to be. It doesn't have to be someplace in Italy like this. This always reminds me of some three-story like Italian villa or something. It doesn't have to be something quite like that, but let's just say that they have something in their possession that reminds them every day. This is the scenario. I mean, this character could be so such a visionary that they can, picture the outfit that they would wear on a Sunday morning when they're relaxing in their, whatever chateau and the place that they want to live. And they can see that perfect life, right? They can see what they almost like an imprint from a past life. They go, I know that I'm meant to be in this lifestyle. I'm meant to dress like this. I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to perhaps even though we only see the silhouette, they're like, I can picture me in a really happy environment with very happy with someone. So if a character is that strong on their visualization, they can see what it is that they're supposed to have, and then they come across a totally different style of life, and they're like, well, I guess I'm supposed to say yes to this because it's presented itself, and it could even look a little bit like this, but in like the anti version, instead of it being like a 3-story house here in the beautiful countryside. Maybe it's like, well, I did find like a situation that's it's a 1-story house in the middle of a city with someone that I guess I could be happy with. They never want to get married, and I always envisioned a marriage where the wedding would have all of these, it'd be like a sunset wedding with the little string lights, and oh, but the person I'm with or meeting, like they don't want any of that. But I guess this is supposed to be my 4 of Wands. This character is saying, no, it isn't. Just because something else shows up and kind of presents itself as like, oh, well, there's this job, there's this person, there's this life, there's this house, there's all of this. It's kind of available to me, but it's none of the things I asked for. And when I ask myself, would it really make me happy? If the answer was no, then it's really that this character is saying, that's right. That's because my 4 of Wands is still out there. Something didn't measure up. That was never what my vision was. I forgot I had this totally different vision. So maybe the reason that I couldn't say yes, or maybe the reason that something didn't work out for me is because I forgot that wasn't ever part of my vision. My vision is this. It feels like if a character says, you know what, I had this, this relationship or this job or whatever, and it fell apart, and it's like, yeah, but this character is wise enough to go back to the drawing board and say, but was that job the ideal job? Was that ever what I had planned? Or was that kind of a different image? Let me go back and remember what was the real vision that I had for myself, my life, my situation, my relationship, all of that, because that's still out there for this character. This is a character who didn't get what they wanted. They got something else, and then it perhaps didn't work out. But instead of being disappointed by the fact that something that didn't work out, they're realizing, but it wasn't what it was supposed to be anyway. My 4 of Wands is still out there. That's why something didn't work. It wasn't the template for me. That wasn't what my vision was. Okay, now it makes more sense. This is a character still going after their vision. They didn't miss out on their vision. They simply haven't found it yet. So it's a kind of like is very exciting because it makes a lot more sense when something didn't click. It's like, well, it couldn't have clicked. That's not what my vision was. Okay, makes more sense. All right, I'm going to leave that there. As I always say, take it with a grain of salt, but no matter what, take care and thank you for being here. Bye for now.